Welcome everybody. We are set to roll here at this point for Ori and the Will of the Wisps Randomizer. We yep, everything is set and ready to roll. We've got Zri, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, on playing the game. I've got a commentary crew with them. I'll let you guys do your introductions and get everything going from there. So don't let me be in your way. Take it on away, guys. It is all you.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Tukel, and we have two people on commentary because there's a lot about to go down, so I'm joined by Apple. And yeah, just before we get started, this is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It's the second game of the series. It's a Metroidvania, so it kind of starts with not a lot of movement. We will have a random position where we spawn. Thanks to Zri himself and the magic of the randomizer, we will start with some items, and there's a lot of explaining gonna happen as soon as we start. But yeah, with that out of the way, I think we're good to go. So, well, let's count it down. 3, 2, 1, go. And one last thing to note, we had an incentive for Wisps, so that means that there are 5 extra items that we need to collect, and those include fighting bosses and yeah, kind of going through the world like that. But yeah, we started in Midnight Burrows. Care to explain why that is a bit special, Apple?
Well, usually you can't get in here without a special skill called Bash. Bash is the quintessential Ori skill. Ooh, and there we get another Ash skill. Dash, very useful here. Speeds everything up. Not really needing an explanation there. But yeah, so this area, Midnight Burrows, usually is only accessible with that Bash, and the random position just lets us come in here for free and do some fun things. We also spawned with Hammer, a very handy weapon, which we can see here being used in these portals for a little bit of a boost. Let's see if we can get through all these spikes list. That looks good. There we go.
Yeah, and you can see we're kind of getting items that might look like one thing and look like and give us the other. That is simply the randomizer. It doesn't shuffle what the things look like, so we kind of have to collect them. We can't just glance at them and see, oh, that's a keystone, but actually collecting them lets us know. And you kind of see the tracker in the corner, which gives a bit of an overview of what we have, and the 2 lines above the timer kind of give an indication of how much of the constraints we've already done. So Zri has already collected one of the trees, which had the dash skill, and is, well, making his way through, trying to find more progression here. It is kind of a slow area because you're supposed to be here way later with a lot more skills, so starting here with no skills basically just means that we have a bit of a problem going through here, especially going through this tunnel. Maybe, oh, hopefully it autosaves. Nope. So this game luckily saves for us, but there are a few places where the autosaves are in really annoying positions and don't really activate unless you do certain things or go around a certain way. So yeah, we can kind of circumvent here these puzzles with some pause floating, which is just some menu abuse to cancel our momentum. So nicely done here.
Yeah, as we saw there, getting more keystones, not what the pickup actually was. And ooh, double jump, very, very nice to get. We were at the double jump tree earlier, getting the dash pickup from that tree. Double jump didn't make it so far in this randomizer, but yeah, just Zri taking the time here to get that teleporter, giving him a little better access back here if he wants to come back. There is a pickup he missed, or well, couldn't get yet because he doesn't have enough keystones. And well, there's the bash as well that we mentioned earlier, and as you can see, can now just kind of launch himself off enemies and projectiles. We should also be seeing what he just did to get to that pickup a couple more times with our hammer jumps. This game has a lot of weapons and they all interact in fun ways. with each other with other skills, and one of them do be hammer jumps. So you press hammer, jump, hammer in a very quick succession, and Ori just kind of floats up into the air pretty far, which is very useful for getting places you're maybe not quite supposed to be with the skills you have, or just making things a little quicker.
Yeah, it's really nice, and actually, like we talked about bash and dash, both of these might ensure that we are underestimated, because going to those extra wisp places means that, well, we need to do more stuff, but both dash and bash just speed up any seed, so hopefully we can stay in that estimate, although I guess we're still ahead. And yeah, this is a combat arena. This game is fairly combat focused compared to the first part anyway. There are obviously more combat focused games out there, but normally this arena would give us just one more shard slot. Of course, in the randomizer it gives us a random pickup, and I didn't quite pay attention what the hint said, but I'm sure it said something good.
Doubt he'd be doing it otherwise. I didn't catch it either. I think this is the last wave, so we should be able to see it in just a moment, provided Sui doesn't take an unfortunate death. There we go, and Westwood's TP. Yes, okay. So that yeah, teleporter gives us access to a whole new part of the map, which is of course very useful.
Yeah, this game is fairly open in terms of traversal, but there are a few bottlenecks over the world, and especially going from left to right or from right to left is one of those. And just we started on the kind of left side of the map, and that is a right side teleporter, so just being able to cross that off of your mind is always nice, especially this early. So definitely understandable to go for that. And with the hammer as a fairly powerful weapon in that instance, yeah, we can go ahead. And also, we might want to mention what the brownie points are about.
Yes, so these all count technically as Spirit Light, the currency of the game. We just built in a currency name randomizer, just for fun. So you'll see all sorts of things. Wood, euros, whatever else you can think of, any game currency, it all shows up in there. And suggestions are always welcome if you feel like adding to the list.
Yeah, I have no idea about Final Fantasy, but I have been told that one of the currencies we have is Final Fantasy related, so maybe look out for that.
Hopes.
You're telling me there's Gil?
Yes.
Oh, so
yes.
that's where that comes from.
Yes. I had
Speaking
to
of
ask because, well, you can see that my username is fairly close to Gil, so I was curious, and yeah, I was told it's Final Fantasy, so hopefully we get to see that.
And speaking of Gil, do y'all mind if I take a quick second to read 2 donations?
Of course.
Awesome. Well, we have 2 generous donations from our previous runners for the Chrono Trigger Jets of Time race. First one is $100 from Lord Batsy. It says $60 to saving Sid and $40 to killing Sid. Gosh, someone else better donate to save him because it's Father's Day. Donation for 5 dad jokes and SVJ saving Fritz. Sorry, brain was there. And then we have a $50 donation from definitely not SVJ. No puns for Ori since I don't play it, but I know a bunch for Final Fantasy VI, but they're all terrible. Spelled like the character name. Put towards more Umoro. So with that, our incentive to kill or save Sid is literally tied. So if anybody wants to push that in either way, they need to donate to get that done before the Final Fantasy VI run starts. And if you want to overtake the character starting bid war for that, you'll need to get those donations in by the end of Ori and the Wisps.
Yeah, and with how quickly we're collecting new things, that could be, well, relatively soon. Probably still above an hour. Here, there are a bunch of items we are still missing to be able to complete the seed. There are a bunch of areas that are locked behind something, and since we need to kind of go to every area, collect the respective skill there, we still need to acquire a few more skills. But yeah, for early game movement, this is literally everything you could ask for. Double jump, dash, bash, a weapon to, well, deal against enemies. It is a fairly nice start, so hopefully the seed doesn't stop being nice here.
Oh, I pray for a start like this in all of my randomizers, but of course it never works out. But, well, sometimes. It is definitely a wonderful thing. The hammer jumps give you height. Is pretty much, yeah, anything you could ask for, especially in these starting areas. There's basically no pickup that Zri won't be able to get here.
Yeah, we kind of didn't spawn, all things considered, didn't spawn too far off of the vanilla spawn point. That is roughly above us. And yeah, we have these kind of skills, or rather hints to let us know how many skills and other important items are in an area. So that is just to prevent us from going through all 380 pickups, searching for that one skill to be able to finish the game. So now knowing that there's 3 more skills in this vast area of marsh, Zri will definitely continue to look for more stuff here. Especially in the early game, you kind of don't want to miss anything because it could just be something super important.
Yeah, of course the chances of it being something that you don't necessarily need are higher. Finding regen there, very useful for probably our fights later that we do have to do. Depending on how much health he manages to find as well. Oh, and of course he has wave dashes with that regen pickup now. Immediately showing that off. Not in the best place to see it, but very fun tech that just lets you zoom through the world if you have a ledge to go drop on.
Yeah, you pretty much just need regen, dash, and a wall. And then you can see Ori Wave, hence the name Wave Dash. So, yeah, just some really nice tech to move around quickly. Here again, kind of overshooting a bit, but wow, nicely done. Those are all extremely precise. You kind of have to hit the timing when you hit the wall to be able to redirect your momentum, basically. So really nicely done. Wow, okay.
Oh my.
This is a very, very nice skill set. So grenade, as in the first game, kind of gives even more power to bash, because you can throw a grenade and then bash off of that grenade. So we can use that as a projectile. And since we're playing with kind of modified items, we can find an item that allows us to do that immediately without waiting for the wind-up time. We will see if Zri finds that item or not, but for now we will head to another tree by solving this puzzle. If you play this game casually, we won't spoil how you get to the solution of this, and hopefully you don't remember. But yeah, really nice puzzle. We need to get in there because there is one of the skill trees that we need to acquire, and we will see if there is anything more important here.
He's been down below, so that opening that he opened in the floor is just the opening to Midnight Burrows where we did spawn. He got the teleporter down there as well, just opening that pathway in case he does need to come back. And yeah, we'll be... Oh dear. Is running out of pickups, in logic at least. And I think generally reachable as well, out of logic or in logic. So we'll have to go do some slightly unfavorable pickups here. There's one pickup behind a 4 keystone door. Generally you don't want to do that. You want to preserve your keystones for other areas where there are more pickups locked behind it, or the trees you actually need. But yeah, this pickup here is only a keystone, but he can turn in the vanilla pickup that he got, that little tablet, to an NPC up here. And we'll see what that gets him this time. Once he gets up here. Doing some very nice grenade floats as well. Using that grenade and a jump input at the same time, just to propel himself up into the air. Don't ask us how it works. Moon Studios made some spaghetti code.
Yeah,
we
it's
don't
pretty much
question it.
movement. Just movement. Oh wow, the
Oh, you forgot the
teleporter.
teleporter. Yes, of course.
Yeah, we get the teleporter way back in the beginning in the combat arena, and there's Flap, one of those items that can be absolutely mandatory to finish a seed, because there is an area that is locked behind tickling a big bear's nose.
Ooh,
And wow,
clean
clean water.
This seed
so
is amazing.
this
He's
is
just getting
like
everything.
you have to remember this game has 380 pickups. We already have like 2, 4, 6, 7 super useful items out of those 380, and we maybe collected 50 of them so far. So, wow, insanely good seed, and yeah, just a pretty nice showcase as well.
Also giving us nice things to work with, not just. It's not a wellspring start for once. Oh, and oh! So this is another one of those one-off pickups that you often don't really go for. It takes a while to swim up there, to get the pickup, to swim back down. You generally just want to go through here as quick as possible. But yeah, Zuri taking the time to do that, very good in this case. Does net him grapple, and that gives us the zoomies as well. That's what we just saw there. Bashing off something, holding grenade, and just kind of going flying. Okay,
Yeah,
what
zoomies
is the
are-
seed? Why are my seeds? Why are the seeds he rolls for me never like this?
Yeah, this truly is an amazing seed. Like, very fast. We will probably be way underestimated, and I might have cast across it now, but we will see about
Hopefully. I do want the chance to show off some of our co-op options that we have.
that. Yeah, so since it is fairly late for us as a runner and as runners and commentators, we have the option, since the randomizer does allow for multiplayer, that Apple Tree can just hop in case it gets late, super late for us. And yeah, Rui, for example, has to work tomorrow, so yeah, we kind of hope that happens, because spoiler, there's some pretty great support for multiplayer.
Oh yes, and various ways of playing it. You can do the co-op, which, if it does come to it, I will be showing off, just sitting in the same world, picking up the same things, helping each other out. There is also multiverse. So 2 worlds, you need to find your own shit, you need to find things for your friends. Depending on where it is, you could have their dash, they could have your double jump, whatever. And that's a very fun, interactive way of yelling at people, I still need this, please go find it for me.
Yeah. It is always funny when it happens, because yeah, if you are in the Discord call, there definitely is some hey, get me this ASAP, please, I need it. Ooh. We're going for a kind of cutscene stack where if you flap your flap at the same time that you activate the tree, you kind of can move behind the cutscene. Unfortunately, didn't get it here, but maybe we can see it again later and actually have the effect visible as well. It is really nice to look at, and yeah, it saves a bit of time.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Sure, while Zri is trying to get to this pickup up here with a friend. Oh, there we go. Go ahead.
Alrighty. We have a $100 donation from Anonymous. It says, thank you and congratulations to all the runners. Please put this towards Terra in Final Fantasy VI. Heart. And with that, that pushes our bid war into new territory, with Terra now taking the lead as one of the 2 starting characters you can choose from. Current totals are $190 for Terra, $152 for Umaro, and $140 for Gogo. So if anybody's a Gogo stan out there and you really want to see our runners suffer, use Gogo, go ahead and get your donations in to change that before the end of the Ori and the Will of the Wisps run.
What then?
Ooh. Burrow, not enough spirit light. Uh-oh. Okay, so that was one of our 2 shop NPCs. That is Ofer, and of course his stuff is randomized as well. And there was Burrow, one of our very, very important hardlock skills on there, but we did not have enough money to buy it, unfortunately. So, but yeah, I think that might just be enough.
I mean, I would argue it's fortunate because, yeah, the seed is fast.
It is.
And we kind of want to slow down a bit, so... Yeah, not having just all the nice skills on a silver platter for us might be a good thing. We still are missing one of the hard locking skills. We kind of saw earlier there was kind of a door below us, and that was still closed. We need the glide skill that is next to the water icon on the tracker. And that is kind of still required. Outside of that, though, we are looking pretty good here.
This is and sword there. Oh my gosh, what did you roll? Why do you never roll this kind of thing in normal games? Like this is
Well,
the
it's a good showcase.
yes, it's amazing. It's like the perfect showcase seed, and randomly generated. We did not pre-vet this or anything. This is just click button, play game, nothing more. This is seriously really, really amazing.
Yeah. Wow, just amazing to see. Another Woods TP kind of saves us some keystones, because there are 2 keystone doors in that area that we would need to go through otherwise. Although I think there was an Outer Ruins TP already somewhere, but yeah, just having that TP at your disposal will make it a bit quicker than going all the way through the other area. Yeah, since this is a Metroidvania, there's many ways to get to a certain point. And we kind of see an interesting one here right now to get up to this seeming Gorlick ore, which actually is Deflector. And since we have Sword, that actually will make stuff easier and faster, especially the final boss of the game. Because Deflector allows us to kind of redirect projectiles, and more than one at once, with a melee weapon like sword or like hammer. And the final boss has a phase where she just shoots a bajillion projectiles at you, so yeah, that will be some instant damage there. But yes, remaking his way over to, well, what most do consider the slowest area of the game, and hopefully will be a bit speedier. He has all the skills to make it speedy. That has to be pointed out. Still an annoying area that we are gonna get into in a minute.
Missing charge blaze for the super
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah, we're missing charge blaze. That's true.
But even without, we have clean water spinning the wheel. Should be pretty quick.
Yeah, we will have to see if he decides to go all the way up, I guess. There is a hint for the glide that we are missing, and that is locked behind the clean water escape at the end of the upcoming area. So, yeah, there is a point to be made to do the entire area and get to the end and do the escape there. But on the other hand, as mentioned, it is a very slow area, and we still have 8 trees to go. So there's a bunch of pickups on the way there, and maybe Glide is on the way. Or maybe the teleporter to the area that we need Glide for now.
Yeah, Zri is being very thorough here. This area still belongs to Glades. I'm not sure if he got the hint for it. And if he's being thorough because there's still something here. But yeah, now we are in a part of Wellspring, the outer side, finding the best skill in the game. Water Breath does exactly nothing, but, well, I guess, lets you not drown. But, generally, if you have played as many hours in the game as we have with this randomizer, drowning usually isn't really a problem. So yeah, not that important, but always nice to have, I guess.
Yeah, and it does count as an important item, so it does show up in the hints. So if you ever have one skill in an area that might be a bigger area and then it ends up being water breath, yeah, that's not
Great
always
feeling.
a great time. Oh, interesting though that the Wellspring Spirit Trail is that many spirit light, because there is kind of a system that lets you guess where, or rather when you're supposed to go to an area, because the higher the spirit light value is, the later you're supposed to be here. So having 200 plus spirit light here means that this is definitely later in logic, which grapple, I don't remember anymore. Interesting after all though.
Oh, grapple was in hollows. No, it was the woods, the horrible woods pickup. The one between woods and hollow.
Yeah.
I guess you're not meant to get up there with the skill set you have.
True, you need, I think you actually need water dash or launch to be able to get up there.
Or grapple, but grapple was there, so
I don't think there's a grapple plan there.
is there not? I thought there was.
Huh. Anyway.
As you can tell, we don't go there very often.
That explains the high XP. And yeah, now we're making our way inside the wellspring. It's kind of a dungeon. Not really, we have to work through it to be able to get to the top, and there's different layers of it. We do have a fighting room that we need to go through to be able to go to the top, but luckily for everyone who doesn't want to play through the entirety of Wellspring, the skill tree that is in the tree, or in the Wellspring, is on the first floor. So we only have to open up the first floor and get to the tree, because there's also no wisp in here. So we don't need to do the escape necessarily, unless of course we need that hint instead of going through 380 pickups.
And 3 is preparing that at least. Opening this door here opens the second floor, which we then have to go through to open the third floor, which is where you then get access to that escape. We'll see if he actually goes and does that. It might be for just coming back later as well, not having to go through the whole lower part again just to open a door. We'll have to see what he decides to do here. Is heading out manually, not going to teleport, so we'll see in which direction he goes when he goes out here. And looks like we are going to be going to the second floor.
I mean, in all honesty, with the clean water, the second floor isn't as bad. Of course, as you alluded to, if we had a different skill, or another fighting skill, this would be even faster because we could just skip the entire second floor. But like that, we just have to do this combat arena and do like half a minute of platforming, and then we're already through and onto the last floor. And the teleporter at the top of Wellspring is one of the most convenient teleporters in the entire game. It gives quick access to like 3 different areas, so having that at your disposal is never a bad idea. And yeah, we see kind of more combat here. Funny thing about Sword in combination with Double Jump is that Double Jump kind of gets rid of some of the animation of Sword. So we can
very fast.
even
I'm not
faster.
sure, did he get a rapid sword?
Oh, that might also be the case, yeah.
But I'm not, that did look like the
I
double
think
jump.
so, yeah.
He did pick up rapid sword, yes.
Ah, see. Better at reading than we are. So that will be helping as well, make this sword even quicker. That is one of the pickups that we have added, that is not in the vanilla game. We call them bonus pickups, and there's all sorts of enhancements for almost all your skills. For definitely any weapon, there's something that will make it stronger. or faster, or more or less cost intensive, whatever. There's a lot of variations on it that can make various combat options more viable to deal like a lot of damage. And yeah, there's extra double jumps, there's extra air dashes. Am I forgetting anything?
Skill velocities.
Skill velocity and jump grades are also two very fun ones. Jump grade, yeah, does what it says on the tin. It makes your jumps bigger, higher, very amusing if you stack them. That is toggleable in our launcher, so you can say, hey, I want 10 jump grades, and just jump to the moon if you want to. And yeah, skill velocity makes anything that moves you, dash, bash, whatever, makes it faster. And here we go, we are actually going to be doing the clean water escape for that glide hint. Running away from dirty water and an evil swamp monster. I don't know.
The corruption of the land. Yeah, it's in the lore you would get clean water here, so you can see that the water is still kind of dirty. And we of course have it. The game doesn't know how to deal with the fact that we have it, so the water still appears dirty. And we just run through here. It's a really nice escape, shows off all the bash and grapple tech, and just very satisfying to look at. Oh!
No, we're
Oh! That was close. And at the end there's a nice cutscene. Due to the randomizer we can skip all of them at this point. So we don't have to see Moki telling our Ori that Ori is soggy. But now we can swim into the water into the next area.
Yeah, if you do play this game, watch the cutscenes. They are adorable, sometimes very sad, but generally very, very cute. Especially the Moki. I love the Moki.
Yeah, don't expect this game to be always happy. It definitely isn't.
Yeah. It has beauty, it has a lot of tragedy.
Yeah. Have some dishes ready for sure.
Okay, so to be back, hopefully. This is... Nope. Okay.
Yeah, this is one of the areas actually that kind of, if you play it through, is one of the most beautiful by almost all people that have played the game, but also very tragic. Without any spoilers, this is an area that's gonna make you cry one way or the other.
Yeah, probably. And one of the main reasons for that, of course, is also the music. I hope the stream is picking that up. Because, yeah, Ori music is absolutely amazing. And I think, according to Spotify, the theme for this area, for Luma Pools, is the most listened to. So enjoy it while you can. Sui checking that his audio at least is on, so I hope you're getting that. Yeah, it's a very, very, very pretty game all over, especially here.
And since we have the all Wisps incentive met, we need to fight the boss of this area. And we don't have Water Dash, which is the skill you normally need to get through this crashes, but wow, nicely done with some very precise movement and Water Breath. we can get through here without any problems. So, water breath actually being useful.
Who would've thought? Yeah, those crashes are generally insta-kill, but only on the underside. So, with some fun squiggle swimming, we can do that. And yeah, we will be working on our first wisp here. So at the end of this escape, there is a little boss fight, and at the end of that boss fight, we get that wisp. Ooh, don't get squished. Okay, that was good. This section is a little scary without water dash, but it looks fine. Yeah, bashing the fish for a little extra speed. Quallock, the big frog there in the background, does adjust the rubber bands to our speed, so that makes that possible in this case. Yeah, we have a big angle frog and push him.
Yeah. Don't worry about the frog. He will be fine. And we are fighting him because the corruption took him over. And yeah, wow, first phase already done. We see the rapid swords doing a lot of heavy lifting. Yes, I mean,
There were a few deflectors too.
oh, yeah. Warlock, the name of this frog or toad or whatever creature you want to see him, does have projectiles, and with that, wow, we got our second wisp. Our first one we also acquired from Quallock after talking to him in his, yeah, kind of home. But with that, we're, done with the second wisp, done with the first boss fight here. Yeah, just needs to get up here and collect the wisp. Luckily, yet again, we can skip that cutscene. I think it's normally like 1.5 minutes. Oh, and our third Ash skill. This is Flash. It is basically only really helpful in one of the areas where you have darkness that instantly kills.
height.
Well, yeah, if you are very desperate, you can also use it for infinite height. Yes.
But that is slow and painful, and you don't really want to do it.
Yes.
And with the skills we have, we definitely don't.
Oh no,
need to.
3.
Oh,
no.
3!
No.
So as
3
you can see,
demonstrating how to get
yes,
the
exactly.
infinite
They
height.
give you a little height boost if you reset the skill over and over at the right time, basically.
Oh, not sure.
Yeah, he's gonna break that with grenade? Is that possible? Yeah, I think it's possible.
Ooh,
Oh, a
spear.
spike.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
There goes the
Yes.
wall.
Yeah, spear is one of yet another very niche weapon. Like most of the weapons are fairly niche, in the sense of you don't really want to use them, but they have their fair uses and are really helpful in some areas. So, yeah, really nice thinking. Just being able to recognize that you can use spear to break that. And with that, we are approaching our next tree, tree number 8 out of 14. Water dash. I don't think it will hold the vanilla water dash, but ooh. Doesn't quite get the cutscene skip here. But nice try.
Yeah, this is very tight. I think it's even tighter with flap than it is with bow, but don't quote me on that, I'm not sure about that. And yeah, it just gives you earlier movement if you do manage to do that. And now looks like we are heading towards Upper Marsh, I believe.
Yeah, probably we can use the connection that's clean water and burrow locked. Specifically more burrow locked than clean water locked. And yeah, we don't have access to the teleporter from one of the other ways, so this is our option to get there. And there is two trees actually that we kind of need to get from there. One of them is fairly easy to get to. The other one can be a bit trickier. We will see how Zuri goes about this. It's normally locked behind bow, but if you know your way around the area, you can, well, circumvent that requirement. So yeah, this pickup is very special to the community because if you played Ori 1, and Ori 1 at the start of the game you needed to go left. So obviously when Ori 2 came out, a bunch of the people went to the left as well, and yeah, the left held this health cell, but not much more.
So this is the starting area where you spawn if you do play the game after the prologue. So yeah, you're supposed to go right and then down, but yeah, going left is a viable option, especially in Rando, because there can be fun things there.
And yeah, we have our last important hint for the seed, which is the glide hint, and glide is in marsh, which is exactly where we are right now. So Zuri is just going to check all the pickups here because one of them is going to be glide, and there it is. So that is the last hard locking item that we were missing, at least for now. I don't think, yeah, all the other Wisps should be accessible with those skills now. So it's good to go. All the trees are accessible, so yeah, it's just a matter of cleaning up now.
And we are 40 minutes in. This seed has been so generous.
Yeah. Another attempt at the cutscene skip, and you can just see it's super precise. You basically have to line yourself up exactly at the position where the cutscene plays. And if you don't, then Ori corrects to that position so you don't get the stick. And yeah, with that, we are onto our next keystone door. And what?
Yeah, if you're too too close to the Qualock statue, you get yeeted up into the air.
I have never seen that before.
No,
but
you
that's
haven't?
weird.
Really? I
No,
do
I
that
haven't.
regularly.
That's great to see. Oh, Ancestral Light. Very nice. Doesn't count as a skill because it doesn't really give access to anything more, but it, well, makes fighting faster because it amplifies the damage output. And this is the trick I was alluding to, where if you know where you're going, you're good to go. If you don't, you're kind of stuck because we need to navigate dirty water without seeing anything.
Yeah, and he's managed to get the save point down in the water. The game obviously expects you to have lowered the water here. We haven't, but the save spot still exists. So Zuri's managed to swim into that and now just needs to go kind of a little bit to the left and then down and back to the right, kind of an S-curve to get around a load of spikes and do it quickly enough so that the continuous damage from the water doesn't get him. Oh, that was very, very close. I might try to reset his health on the spikes.
Yeah, so...
Oh, that was so close! Ah.
What we're abusing here is that Ori 2 has the save system, and whenever you die, you respawn with a certain amount of health and energy. So by getting the save in the middle, we guarantee that we always spawn back in with 4 health. Now 4 health is basically just enough to get through. Like, you can see how hard Zuri is struggling right now to get through. It is possible, but it is extremely tight. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Nicely done.
Yeah, that is one of the waters in the game that just never gets clean. Because the game doesn't expect it to be there. Once you have gotten the clean water in Wellspring, you're supposed to go through this area first. So they never put in anything that would clean the water in case if you manage to do it first. So that's always a problem you have to kind of be aware of when running this. There are ways to get around it, as you can see there. Just takes a bit of practice.
Yeah, and there are things that make it easier. There's, for example, a shard that just reduces all damage taken, including off dirty water, so you have kind of ooh.
He got it! Very
Nice.
nice.
Yeah, he got the cutscene skip this time, so he can teleport out while the cutscene is playing, and that just saves, well, basically the time of the animation. And just really nice trick. Well done. And ooh, nice wave dash here across. Dang. Those are really satisfying to watch. So if you want to see more of those, like there are a bunch of speedruns that abuse them, and Rando just gets super creative with them. There are some players out there, including Zri, that just wow, like I wouldn't have figured that one out for sure.
No, I don't think I've seen that one before either. Because, well, Ori is a very visual game. What you see is what you get here. All the little dips and ledges and unevenness of floors and walls are actually in the code, or like the background stuff that's running there. So, yeah, we have so many ledges and walls that we can use this very fun tech on. You just have to kind of play around, find all the spaces where Ori can stand, where Ori can push off of. And yeah, you get some very fun ones in some places.
Oh, I know what Zri is looking for. Probably Shuriken, because there is one of the wisps is locked behind all the other ones. And then you have a bunch of cutscenes that you need to watch before being able to do that. But if you have Shuriken, you can kind of break a wall from the other side, and that allows you to get to an area that you aren't supposed to get into. So that saves a bunch of time, and also is just the way better method of doing it. So he's been checking the area hints to get access to that skill.
Does Sentry work as well on that wall? I'm not sure.
I think
It does?
I think, but it's very finicky, and probably Zri with 5.5 energy doesn't quite have the energy for it.
Yes, that's true.
Even Shuriken would probably. I think he has a Shuriken efficiency, but even then, it's very precise. You basically have to aim them perfectly, and even then, it's like a 50-50 chance whether they hit or not. So, yeah, you kind of need to have a bit of energy to be able to do it, because it doesn't save if you destroy it, I think. Like how much you destroy it.
Or no, I'm not. I mean, where do you get energy back? You have to go pretty far, and I think that's too far for the game to keep it.
Yeah. So hopefully he can find it here, because it would save a serious amount of time, but I mean, on the other hand, we would get to see what we call the lore temple, because yeah, it just has all the lore. There are some speedruns that have to go through it the normal way, and yeah, you just click through text for 2 minutes. Oh, also that's in Gorlek. Hi, nice. If you confuse the Gorlik's AI, or well, pattern, then well, they kind of dance around, and it's really fun.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Sure.
We just got a $50 anonymous donation. No comment, but I did want to remind everybody that all the money raised during this marathon will be going towards the Lean Foundation, whose mission is to encourage, assist, heal, and empower our LGBTQIA+ community through respect, advocacy, and passionate hearts to promote thriving in society. So all that money that's being donated and raised is going to a good cause. I heard earlier that we had broken last year's record for money raised during the summer marathon. So keep it up, chat. I believe there was some fishing around to see if we can break an all-time record.
Oh wow.
So keep an eye out for that in the chat to be posted by Dark Moon. But I just wanted to get that read out real quick.
Nice, good job, everyone. Like, amazing to see. And yeah, Zuri is still looking for that one skill here. If it ends up being like Blaze, that would be super funny. Blaze is one of the other, like, there's basically two skills that are fairly useless in the sense of the randomizer, which are Water Breath and Blaze. So it's kind of joked then whenever you find both of them, it's just GG. Oh, and it's Sentry. I mean, I guess you can try doing the Sentry, right? So,
With
yeah,
6
this is, well,
energy, it will kill
the wall is
everything
right
before,
here.
Maybe?
So. There's swap. Okay, yeah, nice. Probably wants to go to the teleport.
So
Okay,
what
you-
we're trying to do here is to get
wow.
the... Oh, that was quick. Wow. The sentries kind of move a little bit right to left, those little butterflies that he was spawning. And they shoot projectiles. And with that movement, if you put them close enough to the wall, they can glitch, or well, not glitch into the wall, but cut into the wall as well, and then their shots count as hitting the wall from the other side, and thus can actually open it. And now here we are at the bottom of our lore temple, the ruins, and we're basically just counting here because we have just had a worm roll under us, and now we're just waiting for a kill plane to go away. There we go, it's gone. And now we don't actually have to do this escape and everything that gets you down there to actually start it, which is a lot faster. So now we just go to the top and we go to the end of the escape, and it will just give us the wisp.
Yeah, and we actually saw one of the texts that is mainly used in speedruns. Basically every category of the speedrun uses it, which is sentry jumps, because it only involves sword, which is the first weapon you get, as well as sentry, which is obtainable in Ophi's shop, so we can easily use it. But with that, we have our third wisp. Normally this would be the last wisp, and after that it would only be like the area leading to the final dungeon as well as the final dungeon. But since we kind of sequence broke that, we have it now already, and we're heading into our next wisp area, which is Bowers Reach. And yeah, we're gonna blow a bear, aka make Bauer sneeze, with the flap we've acquired earlier. So yeah, we will kind of go through this area, maybe not as intended because we have the skill already that we are supposed to get in that area, so that allows to just skip most of the puzzles there. But with that, Bauer sneezes and we have access because he doesn't block the way anymore.
Yeah, he's a very sleepy bear, but still prone to feather tickles to the nose. Who wouldn't, of course? And there we go, more sentry jumps. The ground ones are very easy. They're just the same frame press. Well, I say very easy, even that you have to manage at first, but the aerial ones you will see Zri doing sometimes. Those are special because they have to be exactly, the inputs for them have to be exactly 3 frames apart. So you need to get the timing exactly right, otherwise it just doesn't work. So yeah, we'll see.
It still works, but it kind of does a pathetic little hop instead of the nice high sentry jumps we see on the ground. So
Do we have time for a quick donation?
yes.
We just got a $100 donation from Sire. It says, let's break that record. This Will o' the Wisps run is mesmerizing to watch. Keep up the good work. And I did want to take this moment to also remind chat that we have 20 minutes left to get in your donations for the lead 2 characters for the Worlds Collide randomizer for Final Fantasy VI. So if anybody wants to snipe those first 2 characters, put those donations in, put them towards those incentives. We only have about 20 minutes left to go, or maybe even shorter, depending on how fast this is going.
Yeah. This is going extremely fast. We basically have the wisp in this area left, and after that it's one more area and one final tree. And then it's just a rush to the final boss. Yeah, we kind of are short on keystones though.
Oh shush, I was hoping he would move.
Yeah, I think he realized it because he had 0 keystones after that last keystone door. So we have a member in our community, Bad Wolf, who's kind of known for going to keystone doors without having enough keystones to go through, and then just putting in the keystones, realizing his mistake, and then needing to go back. So we will see if that happens to Zri, because he is approaching another keystone door here that is mandatory to go through if you don't have the teleporter, which we don't. So there are like, I think 4 more pickups here. So if they are... Oh, 2 keystones. We need 2 keystones and there's 2 pickups left here, so not looking too good.
Yeah. Oh, he's going for the extra pickup here. Okay.
Yeah. There's 1 more pickup here we can collect. So maybe that is a keystone, and then he still needs a keystone on the other one, and of course it's not a keystone.
Yeah,
So-
so we do have shops. I believe we're playing with a setting where you can also just buy an infinite number of keystones if you have the money for it. So the cost will just go higher and higher. Yeah, so this shop doesn't have any, but there's that little option in the bottom right. And I think he now spent like 2,000 spirit light on keystones or something like it. Because yeah, the cost does stack the more you buy, but it is a very good option for something like this. When you don't want to have to go looking for keystones.
And Moldwood, with his skill set, is also a great showcase of like figuring out what kind of weapons you want on your weapon wheel. You kind of see in the middle of the UI that we can only equip 3 things at a time. So Moldwood as an area kind of has this encroaching darkness that immediately kills you if you get engulfed by it. And there are a number of skills to prevent that. He has the most powerful one, Flash, which just gives a burst of light. But of course that means that he would have to permanently fill that slot with that ability and kind of lose some of the speed take that he has been using throughout the entire area. So he's risking death just to save some seconds. That's like the definition of speedrunner, I feel like.
I have a feeling that's what we're all about.
Exactly. So another reverse break here to gain access to the boss of this area immediately. Luckily the autosave goes back here. But yeah, it is a fairly annoying trick. Hopefully he gets it this time. As you can see, the energy is rapidly... oh no. Oh, okay, just enough. Just enough. Okay, now we can go to the spider area, so arachnophobia warning. Big spider ahead. And yeah, we will spider. So we
Yeah,
kind
just
of have
some
these
more.
shards that upgrade our abilities, and yeah, so sometimes choosing whichever is good can be a bit hard. Yeah,
Are shooting pretty fast.
pretty fast. I think unlimited sentries is also one that we have with how many he spawned at some point. And
Quick tactical death there to get rid of the little spiders crawling around on the floor. You have a little escape sequence here, and another phase of fighting afterwards. And yeah, just killing yourself will despawn the spiders and they won't follow you to the upper floor.
yeah, it's arguably one of the hardest bosses, just because you kind of have to stay in the air because she spawns her little spiderlings that, yeah, kind of deal constant damage to you. And also you have to navigate the darkness in the upcoming part of the fight. So especially in a non-randomizer setting, this can be a very daunting fight. So yeah, just going through all these phases without a problem, seemingly. Health bar is already at like a 4th left here. Just staying in the air as good as possible. Hopefully staying near the lantern that gives light and refreshes our light counter. And oh no, takes a death to the darkness. Needs to start again at the halfway point. Luckily, the boss fight saves in the middle, so it doesn't have to start all over again. Looking at the shards again, maybe there's something better. Doesn't seem like it. So just continuing the artillery onto the spider. And this time it's looking good. Hopefully can get the last few hits here. Oh! Almost skipped the cutscene too early. That would have been very bad.
I have seen people accidentally press abandon challenge and having to restart, so very good that that didn't happen here. We of course needed that fight for the wisp that we get for it, but it also has the added bonus of just filling the whole area here, which would usually be dark, with light, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Can just zoom all the way through and get the last... it's the second last tree that we need to finish the whole game.
Yeah. I would say it's like 10 minutes left, if even, after that, because... oh no, we still need to do Boa's Reach Escape.
We do, and do we have Willow Hearts? I don't believe... no, I don't think we do.
No, there shouldn't be. There would be space on the tracker for those, I think.
True.
Mind if I take a quick moment to update on our incentives then, real quick?
Go ahead.
So, that $100 donation we heard earlier went towards saving Sid for the Worlds Collide run. So we now have $190 for save and $90 for don't. So if anybody wants to snipe that, you'll need to donate $101 so we don't save Sid in that run. And just like our commentators have said, we have about 10 minutes or so left in the run. When the run is finished, we will be wrapping up that bid war for the starting characters. $190 for Terra right now, $152 for Umaro, and $140 for Gogo. So if you'd like to change those starting characters, get your bids in now.
Yeah, and as we heard that, yeah, definitely donate if you want to see that. But we got our second useless skill, Blaze. We would have needed that earlier potentially to get through Wellspring a bit quicker, but now it just fills up our tracker nicely. And with that we have another combat arena here to allow access to the final wisp before we get to that wisp and have another escape. This wisp doesn't have a fight associated with it outside of this little combat arena, but it does have an escape.
Looks like we have a couple Blaze fans in the chat standing up for the skill not being useless.
I'm not sure about that.
There is a variant of Blaze, which kind of allows for the same height as Flash, but unlike Flash, it costs energy, so it is fairly limited. So I would still argue it's useless.
Especially with all the other stuff we have.
Yes.
Whee!
Very nice way to get into the cutscene.
Didn't quite get the wave dash after the cutscene, but oh no.
Oh no.
Three!
Those are the Blaze swaps. And as you can see,
going for the Blaze swaps.
No! Okay.
No, die!
The avalanche is approaching, but we have dash. It's
and
fine.
we have fire.
Yeah, we have fire, but Blaze isn't even
Blaze is
powerful
not
enough.
enough. No.
That's so nice. So yeah, small hint to... Oh no! He went for that wave dash there, but accidentally got crushed by the falling block here. Has to do the escape again.
Ori is very squishy sometimes.
Yeah. But, I mean, you get to hear the music some more. Which
Yes.
always a plus. And hopefully this time, I'm not sure if he will go for it again. I would totally love to see it again, but As you can see, it's a very finicky trick. So,
Give it a
just
try.
get the
It
small
kind
version.
of got a little bit of height, and there we go. Down we fall.
Yeah, we're kind of covered in snow now, and now the bear that we awoke earlier is grabbing us out of the snow. 76 spirit light. Wow, that's a low amount for that pickup. That is normally way later in logic, so seeing that kind of low spirit light there is definitely interesting. But with that, we just ignore the final boss that's in the background there. Don't worry about her. We will see her, but not there. And with that, we have yet another small combat before heading to our final tree here, which in the vanilla game holds the most powerful skill of the game. Hence why in the randomizer we have the option to split the skill into 3 pickups. And yeah. Well, 5. But we only need 3 for the full skill. And yeah. What even is combat in this game? These Gorlick just kind of don't even stand a chance against our little spirit.
Yeah, we gave him a few too many upgrades. This randomizer is hugely customizable in all sorts of ways. You can turn combat off completely. You can do all sorts of things to make finding things more difficult. You can turn off the hints. You can, yeah, there's so much customization that you can really tune it to what you want to play, and that's really great. Accessibility thing as well. We have a lot of things in there to help with all sorts of things. So this is just one variant, basically, that we are showcasing here.
Yeah, it's one that's really is very comfortable in. Ooh, and does get the cutscenes get very nice, so it is able to move around. And yeah, Apple, I saw all 2 players are connected, so maybe we see another Ori really soon. But yeah, we are approaching the final dungeon of the game. Normally it has 8 hearts that you have to destroy. They're kind of the corruption we saw earlier in the game. We kind of have to get rid of that before we're able to face the final boss of the game. But one of the rare variants of the randomizer allows us to just, ignore those. They are already destroyed in this version, so...
No, audio went robotic.
And we're checking the final hint of the game. 40 Ps! Wow. You have to know that this area has like 6 pickups. So 4 of those are teleporters. Wow.
Do we have time for a quick donation plug?
Yeah, real quick.
Okay, the bid war is heating up in the last minutes here, so I want to get these read. We have $25 from Emmy Pup. Says, what's the difference between a good pizza joke and a bad pizza joke? The delivery. Put this to starting with Terra in Final Fantasy VI World Collide. And we have a $101 donation from Gar. Says, Sid is a war criminal and deserves to die. I'm doing my part to make that happen. And with that... Leave Sid has now taken the lead by $1. So, Chad, if you want to change that, get those donations in now. We're about to wrap things up here with Ori.
Yeah, and we have 2 Oris on the screen. You can see that Apple joined on 3 here. Yeah, we can kind of play multiplayer, co-op, whatever. And we also added the possibility to see our other players, so... Yeah, we get to see 2 Oris combating Shriek. It has to be noted that the health bar is not shared, so each of them is still fighting their own Shriek. But all the pickups are shared, so both have the option to, well, use the same kind of weapons. And with that first phase already done, this is a 4-phase boss. The second phase here is another escape. So just a bit of platforming as we head towards the right. We can damage her slightly in this escape, but Zuri barely has energy left. Oh, and takes a hit by the rock. Hopefully, with the double jumps and everything else, we'll be able to stay in the air. Oh, okay. Can damage her a bit more here. You need to have very precise knowledge of where those spots are to be able to damage her. And yeah, we are about to hit our third phase, which is another combat phase. Just as we approach this section, which is one of the reasons why we need Burrow to finish the game. And with that, the health bar will reappear. It has shrunk a bit, so Zuri has dealt some damage in the escape and can now continue to damage her. Now this phase is heavily RNG based. There's different phases or different attacks that Shriek can deal. This is one of the better ones with sword and all the other attacks, so he can damage them. This is one of the not so good ones because it doesn't allow for a lot of hits onto Shriek. This is another good one because we can damage her while she is hovering in the air if we get up to her, but ooh, Zuri very low on HP. Hopefully doesn't take a death, but also doesn't have too many options to preserve energy right now. So yeah, the health bar just needs to shrink a bit more before we get into our final phase, and the boss saves at every phase, so once we hit that, we're good to go. Apple, of course, also dealing with the boss, avoiding the damage zone here. Oh no! Falls down.
Oh. I'm not sure if this is currently on purpose, simply because I am doing this slightly slower, watching a stream, trying to talk, and fighting a boss is hard. Yeah, looks like he does seem to have things in hand there. Lots of damage in this phase. Very nice one there.
A quick second while we catch up.
Yeah, really quick though, because we're entering the final phase of the fight. You have about 30 seconds maybe.
All right, we got $5 from Anonymous. It says save Sid, please. So with that, save Sid is now back in the lead. Chad, if you want to snipe that back, you got to get in at least $5 to take back Leave Sid.
Yeah, and we entered the final phase now. It is predictable, completely predictable. First, Shriek will destroy this ground, then we have to stay in the air. Another reason as to why Bash is so important for this randomizer. Ooh, very low on HP. Yet again, we need to survive this. These swoops deal damage, so does want to avoid them. And now we can maybe see the deflector use, and GG. That is time. And yeah. We even have a bit of confetti on the tracker here to indicate that we did it, and wow, GG to Zuri.
And tons of GGs from the chat. That was an excellent run. I'm glad I got to be your host to watch that. That was amazing. And Zuri, if you'd like to pop up here for a post-run interview, I think you've more than enough made up for the time between runs here. Looks like you're unmuted.
Hello.
That was awesome. So I was hearing earlier in the commentary that this seed was not vetted. This was just roll, click, generate, go. How excited were you about your RNG?
I already thought I should play more, like in the middle of the night, as it is now. Apparently, Seedgen is happier then.
So, I know y'all were doing your best, Appletree and 2Kill, to kind of keep up with the commentary and everything go. Was there anything that y'all missed that y'all want to talk about? Zuri, I know you were muted the whole time. Is there anything that you want to make a comment about at the run, or special shout outs to anybody?
Yeah, like for the run, I would have loved to show off launch. Because it has some nice and very speedy tech you can do with it. Apart from that, it was a really good seed to show off the different tech in Ori, I think. Yeah, shoutouts to everyone in the Ori randomizer community. You're great.
Awesome.
And yeah, it's always fun to come back to this game and play it.
Oh, it was truly a joy to watch. I can't say that enough. And to kill Apple Tree, y'all were phenomenal in the comms. Did y'all have any shout outs that y'all wanted to give out? Anything that y'all wanted to say before we go ahead and wrap this up and start getting ready for Worlds Collide?
Yeah, shout out to the main developer of this Randomizer 3. Making all the impossible stuff happen, like for example being able to watch other people play alongside you, and just all the recovery of broken stuff. Yeah, you're doing amazing work. Thank you.
Thank you.
And yeah, and of course the entire Ori community is just amazing. So yeah, shout outs again.
And Apple Tree, any final comments, shout outs you want to give?
Not really. Yeah, again, Ori community, our devs, who work tirelessly to make this randomizer even better than it already is. All the friends that make multiplayer so much fun, of course. And yeah, please come join us, join the fun. I think we've said it quite a few times in this run, but this really is a lot of fun. It's a beautiful game. Just try it out.
Awesome. Well, I've went ahead and dropped the links to y'all's communities in chat. If you want to check those out, please follow those links. Say hi. Tell them you came from the marathon. I'm sure they'd love to see that. And with that, I know it's very late for y'all. I want to thank you again so much for coming on and participating in the marathon. It was such a joy to see this run again.
Yeah, thanks for having us.